Hey, everybody, how are y'all doing today? Happy Monday. All right, as customary, let's do some breathing real quick, gather ourselves, calm ourselves down. For some of you guys, this will be one of the last things you do today, so let's make it count. Let's learn something and slip straight into sweet dreams, okay? So we're going to be breathing in and then releasing out. Breathing in, releasing out. We're breathing in goodness, releasing all things that are against the goodness that belong to us. Real quick, in our nose. Then you're going to hold it. Now release it out of your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Then release out of your mouth. One more time, inhaling through your nose. Filling up your diaphragm. Hold it. Now release out of your mouth. All right. Let's get into today's teaching. Hey, Carolyn, how are you? All right. So after embracing transformation, the question is, what's next? Hey, Vernita, how you be? The question is, what's next? We've been talking for a great length of time now about evolving, changing, shifts in consciousness, breaking the cap. Hey, Marla, how are you? And all that good old stuff. But we got to set some expectations of what's to come after that, because we are not just talking. Let me say this, and I'm going to take my time, but I'm not going to, but let me just say this. Forget what I was just about to say. Let me say this. We are not just going through the motions. This is not just another neat thing, another new thing, and then it's going to get old. Now, that was cute. Life goes on. What we are up under is what I would call, in context of today's teaching, divine surgery. We are changing. Say that with me, but make it personal. Right hand on your chest and say, I am changing. Say this, every part of me is changing. Say it again. Every part of me is changing. And so, because that is true, we need to set some precedents and discuss, all right, what's next? All right. So the thing is, number one, we have to be aware of the change. Now, this is something that's not talked about enough, in my opinion. We talk about change. We judge people for being fearful of change, but we don't talk about the awareness of change in your life and what that looks like, how it is more subtle than it is in your face, and how you have to be just as intent-filled with acknowledging the change as you do in wanting the change. All right? I'm going to say that again because, back in the day in the church, they would say, I can just go home right there. I can just close the Bible right there. I can shut, amen, lights. The same amount of energy that it takes to want the change is the same amount of energy that it takes to acknowledge it, incubate it, lean into it. All right, so is that making, hey, Thomas, how are you, man? Hey, smart guy, I am changing every part of me. Absolutely. So I'm going to say, I'm going to repeat myself again because I want to make sure this sticks. The amount of energy that it takes to want it, to attract it, is the same amount of energy it takes to keep it, to incubate it, to acknowledge it. Okay? What you focus on will expand. So by virtue of acknowledging the change in your life, you are fueling that change to expand. And this is why it is important to fill yourself up with your passion and your purpose and good energy and positive thinking and positive words and writing and meditation. Why? Because that's what we want to expand in our life. That is what we want to focus on. That's what we want to magnify. All right? So, lest it gets into your consciousness, this change that we're talking about, is it really effective? And it's this old example that has been used so many times of someone who has, let's just say, $500 million in a bank account, right? But they are not aware that the money is in the bank account. They own it. It's in their name. It's legally theirs. But unless you are aware that it's there, you cannot enjoy the benefits of it. You get what I'm saying? And how many things have we missed in our lives that was there? It was what we asked for. It was how we wanted it. But we were focusing on the wrong thing. And so I want to set everyone up for success and not just leave you out there hanging and then you are innately and inadvertently missing opportunities because you didn't get part B. You want it, you manifest it, you bring it to you, and then you have to manage it, honor it, acknowledge it. Does that make sense what I'm saying? All right? So, something is happening noteworthy. I'm on number 2 now. I'm moving right along and I'm 10 minutes in. So let's set some expectations. And forgive me if I'm repeating, but I am repeating for you and for me because we got to get the information that we know in here right here. That hurt. Hold on. Jesus. Ouch. It got to sit right here. So I'm not just repeating it to just expand the time. I want to make sure that it's getting in us that this that we are up under, that we are experiencing, even if you don't know who I am, but you just so happen to run up on this video, you are a part of what I am talking about. This change, this shift, this transformation is noteworthy, all right? So, number 2, don't get in cruise control, or rather, make sure you're not in cruise control, because you're going to start, something's going to come to your mind. You've always done it like this, but something's going to come to your mind to do it like that. And you have to be cognizant to follow that different direction. You have to be cognizant. Let me just tell you what I was praying today, because today I took some time. I did not sleep last night. I tell you what, remind me if y'all remember to tell y'all about why I didn't sleep last night. So I did not go to bed I got in the bed, but I didn't go to sleep last night. So I already knew I was exhausted and tired. I had to go proctor a test today. So I said, the best thing for me to do today is to shut everything down and focus on fueling myself. And so that was today's focus for me, was fueling myself. Well, one of the things I did once I got the students settled was I put my AirPods in and listened to Saturday's Sanctuary Focus session. And I wasn't listening to it to critique myself. I was listening to it as someone that needed it. So I was eating off of it. And I began to pray as I was praying, as the session was going on. Let me say it like that. I began to pray about the posturing and positioning of my own heart, and that I surrender who I am and what I am, or the parts of me rather, that is not in alignment to what's going on in my life. And I'm about to go off script, so I'm about to find myself. But what I realize about me, let me talk about me, is a part of me is so stuck on the past, it is literally fighting against my move forward. And I recognized that. I recognized it Saturday when I started praying, because I was praying. We were praying together. But, you got to have a set of eyes for those that you're praying for and with. And then you have to have a set of eyes for yourself. You don't do this and just be blind to you. Anyway, so I already knew. I said, I feel my own blockage. So today I went back to that moment, and I recognized that I have to be okay with releasing and letting go of the past. And so I was praying. What was the term I was using? I was saying, I was saying surrender, but flow with, I forget what I was saying. But the point is this: you have to be able to go with the flow. Oh, we talked about that Saturday. You have to be a little bit more, you have to have a little bit more fluidity in your life now. Even as I was proctoring, I noticed how I was praying, and then I started about to write, and I said to myself, because remember, today's mission was to make sure I fueled myself, because I did not rest, and I have been putting out a lot lately. And so I was focusing on me. I'm writing, and I saw some paper towels sitting on a desk. And I said, well, before you start writing, go move those paper towels. And now watch this. My ego, my normal thought process, because, my attention span, I don't know if y'all know now, is about this tall, about this much. So I was in cruise control, about to discipline myself and bring myself into focus. But I end up following the random thought that came to my head. I go, stand up, walk across there, grab the paper towels, and guess what I found, y'all? The student, let's just say this was the paper towels. The student had his phone sitting up against the paper towels, using his phone to cheat and take the test. And I said, got him. I had no idea that's what he was doing. If I would have allowed my normal thinking, which is to, your attention span is so short, your attention span is short, focus on writing, but with me just following that thought. And then, I think it's a perfect example, but then I became conscious of, okay, my thing is thinking right now. So I'm writing and I looked up and I looked across, bam, another student on his watch cheating. Now, here's the thing. I have been proctoring the last 3 weeks and have not caught any students teaching. But even my gift is being sharpened. I am changing. And so the point is, if I would have followed my normal train of thought, which was a right train of thought to follow, like, come on, Vince, get focused, man, because you need to be writing right now. You need to fuel yourself. See, so sometimes good will choke the new in you. Oh. Yeah. Oh, boy. Because it wasn't like I was saying, it wasn't a negative train of thought. It wasn't a woe is me train of thought. It was how I'm used to talking to myself because I am aware of my attention span. But that's why we have to be a little bit more fluid and going with the flow. Because your God, your source, is trying to get something to you. Your source, your God, wants to use you. Don't allow you, even your good, to block what's trying to come to you. That's really what that's now, I'm 17 minutes in, but that's really all I need to say. All right? Number 3, understand the impact of change on our relationships, including that's personal, our relationships. This change, when you walk into a room, you bring all of you into that room. Let me side note. That's why you should never walk into a room and consider yourself insignificant in that room. At the moment you walk in, you add to what was already there or possibly take away from it. Immediately, you become a part of the sum total of that room. The synergy in the room changes. The chemistry in that room changes. Why? Because now you just added yourself to it. When you think of life like that, you look at life a little bit more singular. And it gives you a little bit more, it should lead you into a little bit more wisdom on who you connect with and why you connect with people. Because as soon as you walk into a room full of people, you join in with them. You literally connect and melt and mesh with the synergy that is in that room. So, number 1, never, ever, ever walk in a room and think your presence don't matter. It is impossible for that to be true. You would have to mute your entire being. I'm talking about go completely numb and mute to not affect the room you walk in. Now, here's a caveat for that. Who you are is how you affect the room, or effect the room, one of them effects. So if you are light, if you are bright, if you are sure, if you are confident, when you walk in the room, you will walk in a room with snakes. They might want to bite you, but they're going to have to acknowledge you first. And I know a part of my calling is to revive the numb. I know a part of what I'm here to do on the earth is to acknowledge the numb. Acknowledge the people that are really the tastemakers, but they allow themselves to go numb. When you think about all of the teachings that has been going on in this platform between Spirituality Conscious Wednesday and Sunday, and then here lately every single day. It's about unnumbing and acknowledging yourself for who you really are. I was talking to my dear friend Mo today, and he's really doing some really great things in his space. And it's funny because he is doing for his client like I used to do for my client. And I told him, I said, I know the crowd is not roaring for you when you walk in the room with your client, but don't you ever think for a moment that you are insignificant. Here's what I told him. I says, when you walk in a room and the room explodes because of who you're walking in with, seize that moment and feel it and take it in and honor it, because that's going to be you one day. And some of you might be on the peripheral of somebody else's greatness. Do not squander that moment. Use that moment for your benefit. Watch how that person operates and how that person thinks. Hold on for a second. Time out. 8 people, 3 likes, and no comments. Y'all are hurting me today. Am I not teaching? Am I not teaching well? Did I do something wrong? What did I do? Yikes. My feelings are hurt. All right. I met with somebody last week, and they have an extremely nice car. I think I told y'all about this. First thing I did, I sat in it. I said, "Ooh, these seats are soft." I looked at the dashboard. I smelled the aroma in the car. I didn't be like, "Oh my God, look at my." Thank you, Marla. Thank you. Okay. My bad. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, he was driving and listening. All right, I take it back. At any rate, you are not insignificant at all. You are not insignificant. And if you're ever so blessed to be in a room or being around or in the presence of people that have done more than you, I don't even care if they're talking to you like you're insignificant. Bump them. Seize that moment. Put it, save it, and harbor it, because you're giving yourself the data to create it for yourself. All right? There's so much I want to say, but I need to keep on going, even though we're working on watch hours, which, if I'm correct, watch hours should be updating tomorrow, and I am excited to see what the new numbers are. All right. Let me skip number 3. Number 4, the importance of letting go and allowing our ego to dissolve. Ugh. What you have built, the infrastructure that you have built up until now, was so that you could survive the up until now. Yeah, I like that. Who you are, what you have created up until now is so that you could survive the up until now. The process upon which change happening, one of the main processes of change, or one of the main acts of change, is releasing the you created to get you to now. Okay. Thomas says, when I ride the public train in New York, I speak to the atmosphere, peace and light. I know I have the power to change the atmosphere. I notice the people riding in the train with me have no choice but to act right. Let me tell you this. I'm going back to what I was saying. I do that all the time because I don't know if y'all heard me say this over and over. I spend a lot of time on my front porch. And when they get to driving crazy, I think this really crazy intersection, they always having wrecks there. I'd be speaking, all right, y'all slow down now. And I'm not just talking like an old senile man. I'm literally talking to my neighborhood. Listen, I've been telling you, I've been talking to that tree in front of my house because I'd be darned if all the other trees is growing and mine's one ain't. let me talk. I didn't really have to holler that, but talk to it. We've already discussed that. The you up until now, the you that you created to get you to your up until now is ready to retire. Her purpose is expiring. But do not allow ego to get in your way. I've been talking. Oh, Mother Carolyn. Go, Carolyn. Oh, Lordy. This is why I love you, man. You know what? We need, during the next Sanctuary of Focus, we need to conjure up the numbers. Hey, King Gabe, how are you? I know that's right. Your up until now you is expiring. Do not honor. Excuse me. Let me change the words because we use honor in a very positive light over here. Do not get stuck in a space that you are only supposed to cross over. All right? Not smart guy said, I'm sick of him. not just sick of your up until now self. Y'all know y'all could get a laugh out of me, man, because then I get tickled. Then I have to bring my stuff back in. It's time to strip off the robe of our up until now self. But don't allow the ego to keep you from changing. Let me give you an example. I'm praying today, and because I was listening to that prayer today, man, and I'm not one to be reaching back out to people, okay? It's not who I am. It's not my ministry. My ministry is treating people right up front, so when I turn my back, I don't have to turn back around. But I'm praying about surrendering to the divine, and just a couple of people came up in my mind to reach out to it. I'm like, that's exactly how I feel about it. How that came out is how I feel. Now, let me tell you why. Let me go deeper. Because people can do you wrong and then use your kindness towards them as a way to make it seem like they didn't do you wrong. Like, let's just say I do one of y'all wrong, and then you reach out to me first, and then I use your reach out as, because I ain't even had to apologize because, they reached out to me. I don't, da. You know, that happened to me one time before. I'll never forget it. Let me tell y'all this story real quick. Someone reached out to me to make amends. Well, the kind of person I am, I'm going to own my part. Now, I don't feel like they handled me right, I was younger. Now I wouldn't even care. It'd been just a simple conversation. But at the time, I didn't feel like they handled me right. That person reached out to me to apologize. And I knew they were going to, because someone told me, to be more specific. They said, oh, so-and-so, they're going to call you. So I was ready. So in my mind, I wasn't ready like, I'm going to cuss that, rah, rah, rah. I was saying to myself, well, let me think about, since I already know they are going to apologize, let me not throw salt on the wound. Let me think about how I could have handled my part better. So they call, and I'm not one for the small talk. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? If you call into let's just get to the conversation. So before I broke through the small talk, I'm like, listen, let me just say this. I know I could have handled A, B, C, D, E, F, G better. You know what that person did after I said that? They said, okay, thanks, man. I appreciate that apology. Had small talk and hung up the phone because I apologized first. They didn't even feel a need, and they didn't want to hurt me. I was just talking about my responsibility in the hurt. And so, but I can't ignore the fact while I was open before God, I got sneak attacked with a thought that now I got to address. I can't act like it didn't come up out of my heart. All right, I'll give y'all an update, y'all. I'll give y'all an update. God dog it. Hate it. Hated it. But I got to take it serious. Why? Because at this moment that I am bowing myself before the divine, saying, I really, really want all of what you are giving me. And then what comes up next is reach out to so-and-so. I'm not going to let my ego. And maybe that's not the case. Maybe I can get it without reaching out. I don't know. Because let me tell you this. I'm not one of these kind of spooky kind of people like, I ain't trying to miss my blessing. I don't want God to turn on me. And if I'm going to be disobedient. I don't really think that God be tripping like that. If there's such thing as I don't think there's this person walking around with a clipboard like, check, oh, I know you ain't about to disappoint me. I'm going to show you flat time, break your toe. I don't think that's how that works. I think that there is a universal system in place that operates based off of how we operate. And who knows? Maybe the relationship is not that meaningful or potent now, but maybe 10 years from now, I might need them. And it's way better to apologize when there's nothing on the line than to have to apologize, then ask for a favor. I don't know. All I know is it came up in my heart, and guess what? I'm going to go with the flow. Right, Marla. Exactly. I heard somebody said, I think Ethan Hawke was the one that responded to this question. They said, what do you think about the afterlife? And I can't quote him verbatim, but he says, I don't know. I think we should beware people that always have answers for the unknown. I can tell you what I believe. I can tell you what I believe about God. I can tell you what I feel about God. I can tell you how I felt during the sanctuary focus as I was praying in the exchange between me and the realm that I was in. But at the end of the day, oh no. And you don't either. We out here just believing. Oh, and not just us, they don't either. Because why am I? All right. Should I go further? I'm not. Some of this stuff needs to be I cannot wait to June. All right. In conclusion, this is the introduction. Now, let me tell you the back door to this conversation. If you want to sharpen your spiritual awareness, your ability to hear, see, interpret, understand, know, be very prophetic, walk into your space as a knower of things unknown. In my opinion, this is one of the routes to get there. You see something, you start talking it, aligning yourself with it. It comes to you. You see it, you sense it, and then you get more instructions to align, and then it manifests in your hand. And then you see something else, and you start aligning, and it manifests in your hand. You see something else, and you align, and it manifests into your hands. You see that cyclic thing? Something downloads into me or comes up out of me. I respond to it. I put it out in the universe, which is really in. But for the sake of imagery, it goes out. It comes back to me. I sense it. I buckle down. I pay attention. I make sure like a, what's that FAA? Where they glide the plane in. Maybe like a pilot to make sure the plane lands just right. And I become a master in operating in two realms. One hand in the realm of unknown and one hand in this realm. And I'm just exchanging and creating. And this is not just, this isn't stuck to some kind of, this is job, health, finances, emotions, mental, family, neighborhood, country. I never want any of these teachings to be subjugated to a space unless it's outer space. Air traffic control, right. Yeah, air traffic control. I like that. We're air traffic controllers in the room. Y'all hear what I'm saying? And that's the responsibility of the changed. And this will never stop. We will be growing forever. You know how I know? Because my parents are very spiritual, disciplined, religious people. And I carry their DNA. And now I, in my own way, because I'm doing it different than them, which is a perfect example of the kind of, oh God, I'm not going to do that. But I want to talk about this so bad. I cannot wait till June. Because that is the perfect example of manifesting, not allowing ego to get in the way, because you don't know how it's going to come, but you have to recognize it when it comes. I'm going to talk about it a little bit, just a little bit, y'all. My parents are Pentecostal preachers. They are prayers, they are dedicated, and they are pure people. I was supposed to be just like them. They birthed me out, they created me. And I was supposed to do it like them. But how I came out, or how I'm coming into fruition of it, is a lot of different. But in its core, it's what they created. So now the creator of the thing that needs to manifest has to make sure that they don't allow ego to reject the very thing they created. So my parents can be like, well, you saying all that, but boy, you gay. Play too much. That ain't, you need to be in a church. You need to be in a pulpit. You need to be supporting my ministry. And let me say this. A lot of you that are watching this are victims of your creator's ego. Ooh. Jesus. Hold on a second. Now you have a choice. I'm going to skim right past that. Yikes. And I don't even know. Hold on a second. And when I mean create, I'm not talking about your God. I'm talking about the person that you set up under, the person that mentored you, the person that has a hand in making you who you are. Because you did not turn out quite like them, ego rejected you. Now you have a choice now. Will you do the same thing to you, or will you break the cycle and start being sensitive? Because it might not come like you want it to come. Oh, but she's coming. Pause. At any rate, that's a perfect example, because I am the manifestation of Perry and Angeline Hill. But I did not quite form like they would have liked me to be formed. So they have to make a decision to not allow ego to reject their creation. And God, this is one of these times that I wish we were in the sanctuary of focus right now. So I'm going to say this politely and gently. God, I pray for every single person that will see, hear, experience this teaching, that you give them the wisdom to not allow ego to reject the thing that they deserve. I pray for parents who are parenting kids, that they do not allow ego to reject what they deserve. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. We will not make the mistakes of those that came before us. Y'all say that with me. I will not make the mistakes of those that came before me. I will not make the mistake of those that came before me. I'm gonna tell a quick story, and then I'm about to bounce. I was actually looking for a text message too. Did I get it? I got it, but wasn't what I wanted. Anyway. And I told this story before. Mo, my very good friend Mo, good friend of mine. I wanted him to be by my side. And he was for a great deal of time. But life had it where we separated and start working on two different paths. And if it wasn't for the rejection of my creator in a context to this conversation, if it wasn't, let me just say it like this, if my mentor would not have rejected me, I would have lost a really, really good friend. Because we started growing in two different paths. I'm like, well, what the hell you? Don't you forget who helped you. Don't forget who got you that. You better come soup up my ego. That was the position I took. And when I realized you are doing the same thing that was done to you, I backed up and I apologized. And now what I do is Sunday he came to my mind and he was out of town with his client. I text him encouraging words. Now, he calls me his big brother, his mentor, Probably some other things behind my back. But I reached out to him in support. I reached out to him. And then today when we were on the phone, I took time to give him wisdom on how to navigate the space he's in. Why? Because I created it. He's literally walking in my footsteps. What he's doing for his client is what I did for my mentor. Literally. So where I should be like, wow, Vince, you were used to set someone's entire career in the proper trajectory. That's what I should be saying. And that's what I am saying now versus that's why I don't be helping people. They do all that and then I don't be hearing from them. I'm your son. You need a son. No. And so those of you guys that were rejected by your creator, the person that has had their hand in creating you, do not replicate that behavior. All right. Oh, hey, Life Nation. Life Nation, I really need to get you back on the show. I really, really do. I'm going to reach out to you. Oh, speaking of, hold on. That's my attention span. Let me say this. I'm going to reach out to you in your inbox, Life Nation, because I really would love you to come back on the show so we can talk again. That's number one. Number two, my father, Perry Hill, will be live with me Wednesday at 10:30 in the evening, and I am excited. Now, those of you guys that saw the conversation with my mother, then you sure already know what to expect. My father's going to be coming on. He is the patriarch. And I don't know what to expect, actually. I mean, not like I'm expecting anything bad. It's just that I don't know if I want to free flow it or have questions, but I am thoroughly humbled that the patriarch is coming onto this platform to honor it, because y'all know how I feel about honor. And so I cannot wait to talk and discuss whatever we talk about with my dad. I am excited. So, oh, good. Oh, Life Nation, the first link in the video description box of Facebook and YouTube is you could sign up for the text, and that way you can get a text every time I come live as well. So if y'all have any questions, my dad served 24 years in the U.S. Army, and then he retired again, and then he got super sick, and now he's pastoring. But there is a space in my life that is pure. There's a space in my life that is honorable, that is full. And it comes from my father. He is a simple man. He is a calm man. I'm loud like my mother. He's calm. He is a Libra, and in every sense of the word. And I'm so blessed to have my patriarch come on the show on Wednesday at 10:30. All right. So that's going to be good. And I don't know. I hope that we just, we all get something great from it. All right. Okay. Oh, let me run this commercial. I don't be doing the business of the day anymore, y'all. Let me run this commercial real quick and I'll be right back. Do me a favor, if you enjoyed today's show, like, share, subscribe, and comment. As well, if you like this content, you're going to love my email community. And to join that, the link is in the video description below. All you got to do is click the link, put your name and email address in the box, press OK. You're going to get 2 emails from me. One from me welcoming you, and the other is a double opt-in where you have to press OK or confirm. You have to do both if you want to be a part of the email community and get content like this every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 9 a.m. Also, if you want to be notified when I go live, text VTerrillHill to 833-458-3658. Again, VTerrillHill to 833-458-3658. If you want to continue this conversation with me on a personal note, I offer everyone that sees my content a free consultation. All you have to do is email me at info@VTerrillHill.com, put in the subject line free consultation. I'll send you a link. You set the appointment, and for 30 minutes, we'll talk through video conference call. And I promise you, your life will not be the same. All right. All that information is in the video description box below. All right. Thank you so much. Consultations, text messages, all of the information, even if that was a lot to take in at one time, go in the video description box of Facebook and YouTube. You'll be able to read everything I just said so eloquently in the commercial, all right? Can I tell y'all a quick story? I forgot it. That's what I'm talking about, my attention span. Oh, my God. Oh, all right. This is overtime. Life lesson. I always like to share my stories. But this is potent, y'all. So I'm going to say this and then we're going to go, okay? But this is potent. Y'all know that I have to manage my emotions because of my bout with depression. It is something that is a part of my life. I have to manage it. And because and even when I'm doing good, me not getting rest is not the best for my emotions and my mental state. So I was super exhausted yesterday. I came on and came off. I was super tired, and I started feeling this thing. And how I wanted to express what I was feeling was to go to the Marietta Diner and eat all my problems away. And I'm standing in the kitchen saying to myself, but if I eat now, and I want you to listen to how I deal with all of this. I'm not saying this to make me feel good. I really want y'all to see how I dealt with this. Remember, I was talking about acknowledging. So I'm standing in the kitchen. Now I am weighing my options. Do I give in and go make myself feel better with food? And then I said to myself, well, if you do that, Vince, you already know you're going to be bloated and miserable tomorrow. And I don't like that either. So I said, no, don't do that. And I went down all my options of the things that I could make myself feel better. And I said to myself, why don't you light some candles and go pray? Okay. And immediately when that thought came to my mind, because I had to break through all of that was going on, I was triggered. And I was like, yes, good. Perfect answer for me. And I don't always do that. Sometimes I do go eat. Sometimes I don't. But every moment requires some thought on how to handle yourself. In this moment, needed prayer. I lit that candle, cut some music on, and went to praying. Praying. And I said, I'm so tired. And I said to myself, I gotta get these watch hours before June 16th, because the reality is these kind of lives I do now are very specific. This is not the kind of content you use to grow your channel. It's just not. And so I said, I got to get these watch hours so I can shift these lives to the private community so I can do this different kind of stuff. But I'm tired. I do not want to have to do both lives every day and the extra content to grow the YouTube channel, because both got to grow. And let me tell you, I was speaking in tongues, I believe. I was speaking in tongues, but having the conversation in my head, and it dropped in my belly. Start streaming every night and watch this. Because I often have a hard time sleeping if I'm not careful, I will listen to certain YouTube videos through the night because they last about 8 hours. Some of them are uploaded, but most of them some of them are live streamed. And it hit me so clear. I ran down them stairs, created that video, plopped it up, and then I'm watching the numbers. And so I would slip into prayer, look at the numbers, slip into prayer, get on Twitter, slip into prayer, look at the numbers. So I know it was like, oh my God, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. So I was watching the numbers and it did take a peek. And now I am exhausted. Anyway, let me pass all that. I go to end the stream, y'all. And based off of that 5-hour stream, I saw you comment, smart guy, and I said, what in the world is he doing up? You must don't be up sleeping like me. I was sitting there judging all of y'all that comment. Hey, while I was up too. Anyway, 21 hours of watch time for a 5-hour video. Now, I'm an entrepreneur through and through. So I looked at how many hours I got left, even though they have not updated properly yet, and they should update tomorrow. And I was like, I have da-da-da-da-da-da. So if I do 30 hours a day, so the 30 hours a day was also including our little playlist thing that we're doing. But now we're going to be able to go above and beyond the daily quota because I'm going to start streaming every night until I monetize those things to help people rest. Now, why is that important? Number one, all right. Oh God, this is really good actually. Number one, does this idea minister? My sleep can get very disrupted sometimes for absolutely no rhyme or reason. So you have no idea. There's probably more rhyme or reason than what we know, but we'll just stick with that for right now. We have no idea. Number one, does the new idea minister to me? Yes, because this is like preaching every single day of my life, and I can tell I'm getting tired. Number two, does this new idea, is it in a line to my passion and purpose? Yes, because it helps people rest that need to rest. Number three, does this idea move the needle forward? Yes. Great idea. Does it help me? Is it aligned with my purpose and passion? And does it move the needle forward? Now, what's the needle forward? The goals or whatever you have left. If you can create an idea that can do all three, and then don't get me started with number four, make money. Now, and to be honest with you, getting the watch hours will monetize. So there you go. The point is this. Now, how did that idea come? Because I took the time to acknowledge myself. And I took the time to give myself exactly what I needed in that moment. If I would have went to Marietta Diner, I'm not sure if I would have had the idea or not. I would have been full. I would have ate good though. I'd probably been swole right now because I was going to eat up that place. Give me everything on the menu. So I don't want to hyper focus it on you need to be pray, you better pray, you better pray. What I'm saying is I knew that in that moment, prayer was what I needed. And I got more than what I needed because I acknowledged myself. All right, that's that. All right, I'm done. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. We are on schedule. We are right on time. We are right on time. Yep, we're at the finish line. On the week of the 28th, which is next week, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but somehow I need to roll out information on the private community. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. Before June the 16th, it will be live and open. You will have 3 days, y'all. 3 days to look into it, feel it, look around it, get a feel of it to make sure you want to invest in it. And if you like it, stay. If you don't, God bless you. No harm feelings because what's for you is for you, and it is not for me to determine that. So That's that. But you do have an opportunity for a 3-day trial to listen to the teachings, to do da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Remember what we said, the very first live we do inside of that space will be a vision board live where we're going to be able to do vision boards. And then everybody will come to the live with their vision board. And most importantly, what's important about what we're going to do is everyone will be able to present their board to the community. And then I'm going to come up with this mantra where we're going to say in unison to that person and affirm them in their goals. Do y'all know how powerful that is? My. I'm not playing, y'all. This about to get real. All right, let me go because I'm yapping. We're in overtime. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I don't know. I'm probably what I'm going to do. Since my dad is coming on Wednesday, maybe I'll have Taylor Port Tuesday. Tomorrow we can just cut up and laugh and, de-escalate a little bit. And then we're going to talk to my patriarch on Wednesday. Y'all be blessed. Matter of fact, I'm going to play the commercial and then, y'all be blessed. All right. Bye. Love y'all. Do me a favor, if you enjoyed today's show, like, share, subscribe, and comment. As well, if you like this content, you're going to love my email community. And to join that, the link is in the video description below. All you got to do is click the link, put your name and email address in the box, press OK. You're going to get 2 emails from me. One from me welcoming you, and the other is a double opt-in where you have to press OK or confirm. You have to do both if you want to be a part of the email community and get content like this every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 9 a.m. Also, if you want to be notified when I go live, text VTerrillHill to 833-458-3658. Again, VTerrillHill to 833-458-3658. If you want to continue this conversation with me on a personal note, I offer everyone that sees my content a free consultation. All you have to do is email me at info@VTerrillHill.com, put in the subject line free consultation. I'll send you a link. You set the appointment, and for 30 minutes, we'll talk through video conference call. And I promise you, your life will not be the same. All right. All that information is in the video description box below.